On Friday, Victoria Police conducted the largest ever tactical policing operation in Australia's history as part of our mission to find Freeman. Our Special Operations Group, together with equivalents from all states and territories and New Zealand, in fact over 125 specialist tactical members, searched an area in the immediate vicinity of Freeman's location. This included extremely rugged This was incredibly rugged areas. They were crawling through caves, they were traversing rivers and falls, they were searching plantations and gorges in an effort to find Freeman. As I say, this is the largest tactical policing operation ever undertaken in Australia's policing history, and I'll go on record of thanking our colleagues and the broader policing family from Australia and New Zealand for their support and unwavering support in our efforts to bring Freeman before the justice system. The search continues. Overall, we've searched hundreds of properties, with and without warrant, made our way through abandoned structures. We've searched mine shafts, caves, huts. The operation continues and our resolve to find Freeman does not change. Today we say to the community of Victoria, we're making a slight lift in the the travel warnings for the Porepunkah area. Our change is to allow the community to return to a state of normality. We're saying that people can return to that area. We're no longer saying to people they need to avoid that area. The park remains closed. Our search efforts remain focused on that area. But we want to thank the local community of Porepunkah and the broader Victorian community for their efforts and support while we've undertaken what has so far been an extensive search. I remind the Victorian community, and in fact the Australian community, that there is still $1 million reward available for any information that leads to the arrest of Freeman. I remind the Victorian community and all community members that this is an incredibly challenging moment in Victoria Police's history as we search for the perpetrator responsible for the deaths of 2 of our colleagues. I'll now take questions.
Can I just clarify, earlier you said you were searching in the immediate vicinity of Freeman's location. Is that his last sighted location? Is that his property?
Yeah, so it's an extensive area, really difficult terrain in the immediate vicinities of his residence.
So do you still believe, or is there evidence to suggest that he is still in the area?
We're open to all options. I don't think our options, the options that we consider, have changed from day one. We consider he may still be in the area. It's a possibility. He may be harboured or he may be dead.
So you continue to search a more expanded area beyond the national park?
Our search continues in that area, yes.
So just to clarify, you say he may be dead?
Well, we're open to all options.
Obviously there's a significant policing presence. I think it was something like 450 officers, at the start of the search. Is that level of resources still up there?
It is at this time. We continue to assess our resourcing needs based on the intelligence we have. We've had over 1,100 information reports come in since this incident took place, and we thank the community for it. As we work through those, we then determine our search requirements and we deploy appropriately. Every day we reassess our resourcing requirements.
When did the New Zealand officers arrive, and was their first day out searching on Friday?
So Friday was the search day, so they arrived before Friday.
So they all left now, or were they sticking around?
No, all the New Zealand continued to have a return to New Zealand.
How many calls have police received since making that $1 million reward?
Well, we've had over 1,100 information reports all up, and we're working through those.
Was there anything of interest that officers located in that Friday search?
I can't go into that at this stage.
In terms of the assistance that you got from the New Zealand officers, is that just more for a tactical, or was it?
It's unprecedented. If and you'll obviously see the images if you haven't seen them already. The terrain is incredibly difficult. The danger in terms of what we're confronted with is incredibly difficult as well. We need our specialists, our most capable tactical operatives to undertake this search. We're looking for a person who is armed, dangerous, and has a history, a recent history of murdering 2 police officers. So this is not something we can do a line search like we're looking for a missing person, which we often do when we search for, bushlands for someone who's gone missing. We often do line searches with SES and police and volunteers. This is a really highly technical search that requires absolute specialist capabilities to undertake because of the dangers that are involved. To do that in a single effort, to enable us to clear a particularly large piece of rugged terrain, required an extremely large number of tactical operatives. We're very fortunate to be able to call on our colleagues from across Australia and New Zealand who support us.
Obviously, with a large operation, with Australia's largest, was it worth it? Did you find anything?
It's absolutely worth it. It gives us confidence and clarity on a particularly important search area, and it gives us that ability to do it in a single time, which then enables us to think about what we can then say to the community and give us confidence about what our next steps will be.
And that's obviously led to this increased, travel, capabilities for the public as well.
It's one of the aspects. We need to assess, and in making that decision, this is a really difficult decision. It's a big decision to change that warning, but we're really conscious of the impact on community. And we take into account a range of intelligence and information that we have at our hands that is continually changing. And that warning, whilst it's changed today, could change again, either to revert back or to become more open for community. We will continue to assess that on a day-by-day basis.
Can you expand on some of the risks involved with a big search like Friday's, particularly going underground in some of these cave systems?
Yeah, we can. I'm sure we can all imagine what that's like. You'll see images of people crawling through caves. They're traversing waterways in the middle of winter. They've got dogs going into caves. We're coming across animals. Every step is a really difficult. It's uneven ground. We don't have line of sight of your colleagues for a lot of the time. There's so many areas where people can hide. If we think about the Freeman and his what he's capable of, every step must be taken really, really carefully when you consider what might be confronting you. It's an incredibly difficult search.
Has there been any confirmed sightings of Freeman yet?
None at this stage.
Do police still believe that Dezi Freeman could be getting some assistance from members of the community?
We're open to that. We're open to our minds are open to all options, including that he's been harboured. That's been one of the considerations from day one, and we're still open to that being the case.
Has his family been forthcoming with assisting police?
I think we've addressed that. We've spoken to his family, and we'll continue to endeavour to get them to support us. But at this stage, that's a matter for the homicide squad to continue to work with them.
Have they provided a statement at this stage?
Well, they've been interviewed.
But no statement?
They've been interviewed.
On Wednesday, which was the last briefing, officers spoke about that there has been sightings possibly interstate. Has anything come of that?
Yes, it's a really good point. And it's an important point for the Australian community, to be fair. We're open to exploring all information and intelligence, and we are getting that from broader areas. Our search is not restricted to the area. Our investigation is not restricted to the area. Whilst we're focused on a ground search in that area, our investigation is much broader than what we're seeing on the ground, and we're following up all leads, all intelligence, all information that's provided to us.
Which states have you received information from?
It's for an operational purpose, so I won't go into that.
So just to confirm, is there any evidence in that particular area that suggests that Dezi or Desmond Freeman is still alive?
There's no evidence to say he's not.
Just back to resourcing, obviously we saw a huge amount of police in the CBD. Obviously there's a lot of officers up in Porepunkah. Are there any plans to scale back the amount of resources up there?
We, as I said before, we assess the resourcing requirements of our search up there every day, and our search and our resource deployment will be based on what is required, what the investigators need us to undertake, and what specialist capabilities are required to do that. The protests in Melbourne yesterday are a stretch. We're frustrated by them.
Speaking of the protests yesterday, there was somebody who spoke on the steps of Parliament sharing their personal support for Freeman. What do you make of those kinds of comments?
Well, it's very disappointing. I'm sure it's disappointing to the Victorian community, to be frank. You know, if you know people, you know, one of the things in Victoria is freedom of speech, and you know, and people have the right to say things, but it doesn't make it make it palatable, does it?
We're 3 weeks now from this last known sighting. We've had 2 police funerals. What is the resolve of Victoria Police in this stage?
Well, our resolve hasn't changed, and I'd say that to Freeman or anyone who might know his whereabouts and not have come forward yet. This investigation won't end. Our response will change at some point in time. It continues. It's changed already by the fact that we had colleagues from interstate and overseas join us. But the investigation will continue until he's brought to justice. That will never change. The investigation by Victoria Police will never end. Freeman will always be pursued until he's located.
Short term though, I guess what's the goal for the coming days and week?
We've got a number of other areas that we will continue to search, and we will do that over the course of the coming days and weeks. We will continue to look at all information reports that come in and follow any opportunities to take a different investigative approach.
Are you still offering a surrender plan for maybe someone who is, you know, harbouring Dezi or Freeman himself?
Yeah, absolutely. We would encourage Freeman, if he's able to see this, or someone who has an ability to contact him or maybe harbouring him, to think about surrendering. You know, let's come contact 000 and we'll arrange a surrender plan, a safe surrender plan for him.
Is there evidence to suggest that he does have access to technology?
I have no evidence of that.
Will you continue looking to overseas assistance, such as the FBI or anything like that?
We will leave no stone unturned to try and establish how we can best conduct this investigation.
Back to travel warnings. Is that, I guess, fully rescinded now so people can return freely and do whatever they want there, or is there any restrictions?
Well, we would say to people who go there, you know, be mindful of your own safety, be vigilant, understand the environment you're going into, understand the warnings that we've already got. Particularly for people who may be, you know, in the next week or so, you know, holiday makers who may, you know, have their own holiday second houses or holiday houses up there. It's really important for us to understand if they see anything unusual when they return. Really important for us to know immediately if a burglary's occurred at a house that's normally vacant. These are really important things for us to get straight away.
Has this sort of come because a lot of businesses were speaking in the region and the area talking about how much they're struggling? Has this sort of come since sort of hearing from them and that, excuse me, that push from them to sort of reopen again?
Well, it's a balance point, and it's a really, as I've said, it's a really difficult decision to make. We're absolutely committed to supporting the community. Our local police work daily in the communities, and we're incredibly conscious of the impact the operation has on local community, and we're talking to them about that all the time. We're trying to find that balance. It's a really difficult balance to find.